Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sujata Manohar from VIT Business School. Today we are going to look at the different functionalities that are offered by Google Groups and how can we make use of it for our students. So what is the main advantage of using a Google Group, right? Now, let's say there are 60 students in our class, and if we have to send an email to those students, now the usual practice is from VTalk, we copy all the email address, right? We get the list of email addresses from VTalk. And so one thing is like if we have to give some information to the students, we post it in VTalk. But if we have to send an email to them, a long message, then what we do? So in VTalk there is a limitation of the number of words that you can post. So if you have to pass on some information, write an email to them. What we do is one option is that to copy all the email IDs and paste it in your Outlook or whatever email application that you're using and sending it, right? But in our VIT email ID, we have a limitation that at a time we can send it to only 10 students. Now, if we use a group, if we create a group and add all these email IDs into that group, we can actually send, so each Google group will have an email ID. So if we send it to one particular email ID, all the students under that group will receive that email. That's the best advantage that we have from Google Groups. And apart from that, we can actually start a discussion on a particular topic, and people can post under that topic. And because of that, we can use it as a Q&A forum as well. So today I'm going to show you a demo of how to create a group and how to add members to the group, edit or remove the members, and how to control the permissions for all the members, and how to do a discussion like posting messages and making it as a discussion, and how to send a group email. Now let me go to it. Let me close this. So what we're going to do is, now I have to show you like as an administrator how it works. Once I create a group as an administrator, when I add a member, how that member will be accessing the group. So what I will do is I am going to use two browsers. In one browser I'm using I'm using my personal Gmail ID, and in the other browser, so this is Chrome. In Chrome, yeah. Um, so this is Chrome. In Chrome, I've logged in using my personal email ID, sujatamanohar78@gmail.com, and in the Edge browser, I'll be using the VIT Gmail ID. So let me go into my personal. This is my Chrome browser where I have logged in using my personal Gmail ID. How to go to groups? First step, right? So you click on this, you will see all the different. So I'm already logged in. Okay, so you can see that I have already logged in using my personal Gmail ID. When I click on this, I get all the list of Google apps, right? Now go to groups, look for groups. Okay, I think when you click on more from Google, you can see. Or you can do one thing. I don't know why this is not showing. Yeah, or maybe I've missed it. Yeah. Okay, never mind. So usually it is shown here for some reason. I don't know why, but it will be like how you see account search, maps, and YouTube and all that. You will be seeing here groups, right? So even if you don't have to look here. Now that you've logged in as your using my Gmail ID, it will be sufficient if I say groups.google.com. Okay, when I click on it, I don't know, it's loading slow, right? So now, so this is the main page when you go to groups. So here, when I click on my groups, it will show me what all group I am part of. And these are all some of my groups which I visited recently. Okay. Straight away, what we can do is now I'm creating a group. How to create a group. So click on create group. Let's say I'm going to say test group, right? And as soon as I type test group, it is giving an email address for this particular group. It says testgroup@googlegroups.com, but this group email is already taken. So similar to how we create our personal Gmail ID, this is also, so it is creating a Gmail ID for the whole group. So what we can do is, let's say VIT underscore test group. Maybe this works. Yes. So this is available VIT underscore test group at, or I'll just say VIT underscore test is for easy purpose. VIT underscore test at googlegroups.com. So this is our going to be email ID. This is just for demo purpose or something. Okay. Now coming down, so primary language, all this you can set it as default only. You may not change anything. Okay, group visibility. So this is important. Anyone on the web. So if you create this group, if anybody searches with this name, VIT underscore test, they will be able to see. Okay, they cannot join. So that is something that that is a different setting we have to do. That anybody cannot join the group. You will control the permission. But if they search with this name, whether it will be visible for them or not, that is the setting that you're doing here. And then, so whatever topics that you're posting, whether all the members of the group are going to see, or you can say managers of the group or anyone on the web or owners of the group. So these are the permission levels that you can set. Similarly, who can post in this group? Owners, managers, all members. So remember this, and when we are adding the member, we can set the permission, set the role. So these are the roles: owners, managers, and all members. These are the roles, right? Now join the group. Select who can join. Anyone can ask. Like, so anyone can ask whether they can join this group. Okay, that is one setting. Or only invited users. Basically, when you are sending an invite, I'll show you how to send an invite. So only invited users have to see. Then you can select this, or anyone on the web. So these are the permissions. So now I will just leave everything as a default, and then okay, I create. Okay. So what is the email ID here? VIT underscore test at googlegroups.com. I'm just creating. So the usual stuff we do. So congratulations, your group has been created. Get started with your group. Invite people to join the group. Customize your group setting. Add a topic and stop posting. I say okay. 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 Now comes the next step. See, now let's just check if I in under my groups whether this is visible or not. I have a lot of groups. So in this, see, you see VIT underscore test, and I am the one who created, so it shows me as the owner, right? Now there's one more thing, like before I start adding members, let's see here. If you click on yeah, so this is where you can change your display name, right? So whenever you are sending an email or something, how your name is displayed, you can change it here. And then email used for your membership, yeah, this is the one that I used to create the group. Yeah, this is very important. Email delivery preference, notify me for every new message, right? So this is like whoever posts anything to this group, for every message that they post, for every email that you get, then you will be notified. So but this I don't recommend, because when every student, when they start posting, when they comment something, you will get like multiple emails in a day. So instead what you can do is, you can actually say don't send email updates. when you say don't send email updates, you can actually go into this group and you can see all the postings that have happened. Okay, you will not get an email, but you will be able to see all the posts. Otherwise, you can set it to send daily summaries. That means end of the day, it will summarize all the conversations that has happened in that group and it will send one single mail to you. Otherwise, this is another one. Every 25 messages, it will club and send it as one email, or notify me for this. I don't recommend. That's what fewer than one, but notify me for every new message. Don't do that. Otherwise, you will get so many mails in a day, right? Okay, this transfer ownership, this in case you create the group and your group is active, everything is happening, but you want to leave and then make somebody else as owner, you can use this option. For now, I'm just, I don't make any change. Maybe I'll just leave it like this and then I say cancel. Now, what is the next step for us? We have to add members. For adding members, now I'm clicking on this. So I have to go into the group now. I am in the page where all my groups are displayed. I click on the group. So, okay, yeah, I click on the group now. I'm in the group page. What you can do is, so there is something like, okay, if you want to make some changes to the group, you can go to the manage group. But now we are going into manage members. Okay, so here I am the owner, nobody else is added. Now what you do is, there are two options to add members, right? So suppose you know for sure, you know that person, and you just want to directly add the member. Okay, so you can use this option. Click on direct members and enter email addresses to add as members, right? So here you have to be careful, in the sense, only if you know that this person, you can add without his permission, you use this option. Otherwise, you use the other option of inviting members. There, I will show you that option also. But now, if you are adding your students to this group, then you don't have to ask their permission, right? So we can add their email address. Here, what I'm going to do, I am going to add that VIT email ID, VIT Gmail ID, my email ID, right? Okay. Okay, and if you want to add multiple members at a time, you can separate using commas and then do it. Now I'm doing only mine, 51735 at vetstudent.ac.in. Yeah, so hi, welcome to the test group. Yeah, here also the same email subscription option that I already discussed. So now you just add this person. Okay. One person was added to the group. Done. Let me also show you how to add, like, again I'm clicking on the group, go to manage members. Yeah, see, now that new member has been added, right? Now, I will show you the other invite members also. So invite members is like, you are sending an invite to them. Only when they click on it, that person will get added to the group. Let's say, just like that. So there is one more Gmail I have. So I'm just sending a request to this. I request you to join my group. Okay. Um, so you can say send invite. So this person will will get a link to join the group. Only when they click on that person, so invitation has been sent. Yeah. Okay. So now if we go to manage members, I'm just still seeing here, and what else? So outstanding invites, if you, so I have invited this person, it is pending, it is showing in the pending status. So once they join, they will get added to the all members one. Join request is like, somebody can send you a request, you are not sending a request for them to join. they are requesting you to add them in the group. So that will be shown here. Here you can approve and they'll get added, right? So this is about adding members. Let's go and see whether I have received that invite, right? I am logged into, now I have gone into the other browser because I'm logging in using another Gmail ID. It's loading. I think because I'm using both the Gmail IDs, it is asking for, hold on. So what we are going to verify now is using my personal Gmail ID, I created a group, and in that group, I have added my VIT Gmail ID. See, here I have logged in using my VIT Gmail ID, and if I go to my groups, see here that I have been added, right? I have been added to this group, and in my groups it is showing VIT underscore test. And because this is VIT Gmail ID, it is telling me that this group itself is external, because like it's not within VIT Gmail ID. So it is telling me that it is created by an external person, right? You won't see this if you are doing the same thing with whatever we did. If you're doing between two personal Gmail IDs, it won't show this, but because this is an institutional email account, it is showing this. Now if I go into Google Groups, into that VIT test group, see, this is what I will see as a member. There I was seeing everything as a owner of that group, and as a member, this is what I will be seeing. So I can see the members also. See here. I see the members here and what is their role, right? Okay, now let me go as a owner. I'm again going back to my personal email ID. I'm in this group. Right? Yeah, so here I go to manage members. So if I have to remove this is the student that I added, right? So if I have to remove this person, now remove from group, right? And you can also post, you can also like control the permission for this person. You can say allow posting, disallow posting, right? This is what you usually use, and you can ban this person. Instead of removing, you are banning this person. And see, so this is where, suppose I want to make this person, maybe he is another faculty, right? So if I have to change this role to, we have a member, owner, and manager. So you can suppose you want to leave this group and hand it over to the other person, you make him the owner, and there is one more role which is manager. Maybe the manager will have more permissions than a regular member, right? And okay, yes. Now let's go to messages. Okay, so I have to, okay, now we will send an email, then we will get a message, right? So how do we send an email? Now, what was the email ID? So if you don't know what was the email ID that was created for this group, okay, go to settings, email options, or go to manage group, right? See, VIT underscore. So you have, if you go to manage group, then you will get this group email address, VIT underscore test at googlegroups.com. So we can send an email, let's say. So how to go back to email? So this Gmail. See, this was the mail that I received as a student. Now as a student, I am sending this mail to that group email ID, VAT_test at, what was it? Googlegroups.com. My first topic for discussion. When is the class scheduled for? So I send this, okay? So it was so simple. If that group had all the email IDs of all the students, it was just, you don't have to copy paste all the email IDs. It was just one single email ID. Let's go and see if, okay, from this email I have sent an, from this email account I have sent an email to that group. So we will check in the other browser whether I have received it. Now let me go to my email. See, I have received this mail from my student, right? So this is how you will get the email, right? See, you can also read this. You receive this message because you are subscribed to the Google group VAT_test group. To post to this group, send email to, it is giving that Google group's email ID, right? So this is one way, like anyway you will receive the email. The other way is like if you go into your Google groups, let's see, this is my Google group, and here see here the messages that has been posted, just posted, right? So now if you click on this, so this is what we call it as a thread or a particular topic. So all the emails that are sent to this Google group will appear here, right? And so you click on this. In fact, you'd, okay, this is important functionality. Now just think, the mail was sent from my Gmail account to that Google group, and I'm seeing that message here, right? So I need not reply to this message from my Gmail. I can post here itself. Like now I am looking, I am the admin and I am the admin, I have received this message from a student. So if I have to post a reply, I can just say post reply here for this. Okay. So I just say tomorrow at 8 a.m. So I post this message. Okay, so as the admin, as a teacher, I have posted this. Now let's go back and see whether the student has received or not. So this is my other browser, logged in as a student. See, I have received the message saying tomorrow at 8 a.m. So even me as a student, I don't have to go into this Gmail. Actually, if I go to groups also, I would see that, right? So my groups, VAT, and it should appear in the, so yeah, I actually found out that this takes some time to refresh. Yeah, but the conversation is showing here, right? So actually it should show in the conversations. After some time, I think you should receive this. Okay, otherwise now we have seen this thing in the Gmail. Now I'm going back to the administrator account, right? So as an administrator, so now what all we have, we will just do a quick recap of what all we have done. So what we have done is we created a group, and then we added members. I showed you how to remove the members, change the permissions for these members, and how to start a conversation, how to send a mail. There's one more feature I wanted to tell you. This is, suppose you know, see, you see my Chennai Trekking Club and all these things, right? Suppose you are hearing that, let me go back to this. Suppose you are hearing that there is a group, you are interested in trekking, right? And you're just searching, go to my groups. Yeah. you now you're just searching what group is any Google group is available for public Google group is available for trekking, right? So now you can search. See, if you're searching what are, let's say, trekking Chennai, or I'll just say, yeah, trekking Chennai. Hmm. See, now you are seeing, see, Chennai Trekking Club. I'm already a member of this, so it is showing a member. So Chennai Trekking Club Women's Forum. I'm not a member. It is showing that there is a group like this. So you click on it and you see what kind of group is this. So it says you must be a member of this group to view and participate in it. Apply for membership. So if you click on apply for membership, then that request goes to them, to that administrator. And as in, so right, so if you click on it, it will go to the request to the administrator. Now here they will approve. Once they approve, that will show up in your my groups. Got it? Yeah, I think so you can leave this group. I was part of this. There is an option for you to leave this group. And yeah, almost we've done, we've covered all the functionalities, I guess. Yeah. Yes, we have covered almost all the functionalities, and thank you for being with me. I hope it was useful. Thank you.